Welcome to the long hair series. This is haircut L1. This is a classic long haircut that uses line, graduation, and layering. To start with, we're going to cut our line. And we're going to start this in the back of the head. Take a vertical section through the center back. Take a horizontal section in the back. When I'm working with long hair, I really prefer to take a thick first section because sometimes there's some shorter pieces underneath. So you need to get the true real length of the hair. So my first section is a little bit thicker for that very reason. A line technique means all the hair is going to come down and be cut to the same line. We're going to bring the hair down and we're going to cut through the fingers. The reason that I'm cutting through the fingers is to give me a softer line. I think this is appropriate for this haircut because it's more commercial and modern and pretty. You could also cut through the comb. This would give you a much harder, cleaner looking line. A few key points that you need to think about when cutting a line is trying to cut at eye level so you can really see what it is that you are doing. Don't lift the hair up to you. Try and bring the hair down and cut at this level. Now, one key point that I'd like you to remember is to keep the hair evenly damp. So you need to spray down after every section. I also like to spray the water into my comb and apply that way too. So I'm now going to take my next section and I'm going to continue taking my sections in the back, and they're going to pivot around until I have cut all of this back area, and I'm going to bring every section down and cut to the same guide. I'm going to cut through my fingers. I'm going to cut as close to eye level as I possibly can, and I'm also going to keep spraying the hair down and making it evenly damp. A very important key point we must remember is to control the elbow. By keeping my elbow down, I will keep my line and my fingers square. If I allow my elbow to start to lift up in its natural position, then I will round my line up, which is not what I want for this haircut. I want to keep it more square and even. Also, I like to cut the center area first and then work into the sides. It's very difficult to try and cut all of the hair in your hands at the same time. So just take the hair in smaller increments, and that's going to allow you to have more control . And now I'm going to move to the sides. It's very, very important when you're cutting the sides that you stand and face the line that you are cutting. When you're cutting long hair, at the sides, the shoulder can very often get in the way, And it's very difficult to get a really clean line cutting it like this. So what we like to do is to actually ask the model to turn her head. And if we ask her to turn her head fully to the side and keep the chin slightly up. What we don't want is for the model to put her chin down, because that's going to change the line. So ask the model to keep her head in a natural upright position. This is going to allow us to take the guide from the back and cut a square line standing in the front. I'm going to continue to cut all of the side using horizontal sections through into a center parting. I'm going to bring each section down and I'm going to cut it to my original guideline. Still through my fingers with the model's head turned to the side. So we're now going to move on to the second part of this haircut. We're going to be standing in the front and we're going to be using graduation around the face. The way we're going to start the graduation is by standing on the opposite side to the side that I'm cutting. This is a very key point when you are working in the salon because it allows you to take the length as the guide, drop the hair out, and then choose what angle you actually want to cut around the face. I'm going to comb the hair forwards and across to me, allow the hair to drop out, and use that as a guideline. I'm going to continue with diagonal sections all the way through to the back. Every section is now going to be pulled forward to the first section. I'm going to be combing the hair down and forwards. Cutting upwards A really good tip when working with balance is always cut it just a tiny bit longer on the second side, stop, check your balance, feel it, and then cut it again. When you are happy with it, you can continue with diagonal sections all the way through to the back and continue to over-direct and pull everything to the first section. So we now come to the layering part of the haircut. We're going to take a central vertical section in the top of the head. First, comb the hair straight up from the head. We are going to be using the guideline from the graduation at the front for the layering. You are going to drop the hair out below the round of the head. So find the curve of the head, allow the hair below the curve of the head to drop out, and then use this as a guideline for your layers. Comb the hair straight up from the head and cut a line from short to long. Recomb as many times as you need to, making sure you keep the hair tight and clean with a good, even tension. Continue with the same sections and over-direct everything all up to the first section in the center.